back to another predictions video, and in today's video I'm going to be predicting the Galle versus Carreno fight. If you're new around here though and you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. Like it if you do indeed like the video, and let's get straight into it. So going into this fight, Galle is 8-1 with 1 KO and Carreno is 24-3 with 19 KOs. This fight is for the vacant IBO World Bantamweight title. Galle's last fight was a win via unanimous decision versus Ispero, and Carreno's last fight was a win via TKO in round 4 versus Batiz, that being over a year ago. This is in Galle's home country of Canada. Galle is 34 and Carreno is 25. And to speak a bit more about what I've just been saying there, of course, this for a world title. It's the vacant one. It's a lesser known one, but there's another opportunity here for Carreno to try again fighting for a world title. But it's Galle's opportunity to gain a world title now, and so I think this is a good matchup. It's going to be an interesting fight. I mean, we've seen Carreno fight at a world level a couple of times, and the most notable one being against Forsland, and she makes for great fights. She's an entertaining fighter, and I think it's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. Of course, they're both coming off victories. Obviously, Carreno's being a little bit a little bit of a while ago, over a year ago now, and that possibly might be stunting Carreno's development, being she's 25, but she's the one with much more experience, has been fighting professionally for a longer time, and even though Galle is the less experienced one, of course she is the older one, and so you've got to think, is that going to possibly play a factor or not? And of course, it's also being in Galle's home country, is that going to play a factor now in her favour, her being in a home country and being used to being in a home country. So, to speak about the fighters, Galle, she's aggressive, she's a front foot fighter, she's got a good combination, she changes levels well, good shot variation, works well on the inside, she will outwork you, she's got good snapping shots, she's accurate, punches pretty much every part of the body, she's got high guard, a good chin, pressure fighter, she's relentless, she'll always respond when she gets hit herself. They're both quite similar type of fighters, to be honest. I think the differences between the two would be that possibly Galle is more of the aggressor and the one who is wanting to push the tempo a bit more, compared to possibly that of Carreno, who's more of a kind of counter puncher to an extent and is wanting to time you when you're coming in. But Galle, I mean, she's, like I said, she's got good snapping shots. It's surprising that she's only got the 1 KO, to be honest, because she does hit hard, and the way that she fights, the way that she just change levels so efficiently, it's surprising that she hasn't managed to catch anybody out with them changes of levels. And she loves the good kind of body shot hook and then hook to then the head afterwards. It's a very basic combination, but when you can pull it off and it works, it's very impressive. And like I said, good combinations, and the fact that she does elsewhere have a good shot variation, it's nice to see. And the fact that she's also quite accurate with her work. A lot of the times when you see these aggressive front foot type fighters, they're often not overly that accurate and can sometimes try and force their work, or can sometimes come in a bit recklessly. But I would say that Galle, she isn't really that type of fighter, and she doesn't really struggle with that. And even if possibly the shots aren't necessarily hitting the part of the body or they're getting blocked, she's still hitting every part of the body, and well, every available part, and so it's still going to cause damage wherever she's hitting. And the fact that she can also take quite a good shot as well. I mean, she's not overly defensively smart, and she hasn't really got a great defense, but she's got a good chin and, like I said, a high guard as well. So whatever shot she is taking, she can normally deflect them off. So the negatives about Galle: on the back foot, she can struggle a bit, and I don't think she's really been pushed or pressured onto the back foot yet. But I don't know if Carreno might do that. I doubt it, to be honest. She can duck her head down a bit at times. She crosses her feet a bit at times. At times she's a bit heavy-footed. I think when she gets dragged into an opponent's fight, which I think does happen with her, she can then become a bit more heavy-footed and become a bit more possibly lazy defensively, and that defense can kind of go. And so, you know, it's a factor which can come with time, but it's not really something that you want him to be doing, especially when you just get dragged into opponents' fights. And it's a very common thing, but, you know, it's not amazing to do. She can be backed up. She's not overly fast herself. She's got a bit of a lack of a jab. When I say she's got a good shot variation, she does, but I think she's got a bit of a lack of a jab. So to set up her shots off of that. and she can be countered coming in, which is, I'm sure, something like Carreno is going to be wanting to do. So let's speak about her. She's a tough fighter. She's also always going to want to respond. She throws in bunches, similar to that of Galle, but I would say that Galle's is more kind of spiteful combinations, and I think Carreno's is more to just kind of get you off of her. But she also, to be fair, she's got that good timing, and that's what I think's gotten her stoppages in the past. She has power herself in her shots as well. She's got a high guard as well. She's, like I mentioned, got a good solid timing to catch you when you're coming in. She's also got a good chin. When you have that counter mindset, often you have to take shots, and she does take shots. She controls the center well, though. She's a close range type fighter. She, like I mentioned, is a counter puncher. She can reset well if things possibly don't go her way, or when she's finished throwing a collection of punches that she wants to do, she can then reset well and wait for the next opportunity and start being patient again and trying to time the opponent again. She punishes any mistakes, and that's defensively coming in when you're probably gonna be ending up fighting on an inside fight, which Galle probably will end up fighting an inside fight with Carreno. And if she's going to be coming in and being easy to get hit and not really coming in with much head movement, then I think she could definitely get hit. She's faced adversity. I mean, she's been hurt against Forsen. She was hurt, and that's the main fight I'm going off here, because there's not really loads to take on other fights, but that's the main fight I'm going off. And she's faced adversity, but she's managed to come back from there, and like I said, reset quite well from any problems she may have faced. Negatives about her: she's heavy-footed, she stands upright, she's got a lack of defensive movement, so she's definitely there to get hit. Her balance, I mean, similar kind of things. When you're heavy-footed and standing a bit more straight-footed, and she stands upright, the balance can sometimes be a problem. She can headhunt a bit at times, less shot variety, and doesn't really change levels as much as Galle. She's the less technical fighter out of the two. She's got a limited shot variation, like I said. On the back foot, I think she can struggle a bit. I think when she plants her feet, that's when she can be good. But when she is just genuinely get pushed back, which is difficult to do, but if she does get pushed back, then I think she can struggle. She has a chin up in the air a bit at times. Her accuracy can be a bit off at times when you're throwing in bunches, especially that being the back foot thrown in bunches. If you against an opponent who's a bit more of an inside outside type opponent, then accuracy can be off when you're just lunging in, and she can lunge in a bit at times as well. She can struggle against speed, kind of linking to why the accuracy can be off a bit at times. And in my opinion, I think she struggles a bit being the aggressor. I think when she's allowed to come onto you and be at a mid-range, I just don't really see anything of interest. I mean, her jab, I don't really rate it, and like, she tries to change levels, and when she's on the aggressor, she tries to be the boxer, but I just don't really think that she's that type of fighter. But she's going to be a tough fight for Galle here, and I think this is a solid matchup, to be fair. And I think possibly now, though, I mean, I'll say in a minute, I suppose, Galle is the favourite. I think that Galle will win via unanimous decision. And to say what I was going to say, I think there's now a recipe and a proven way to beat Carreno, and I think she's going to be tough. She's probably going to go to a decision. I think you're going to have to take some big shots, but if you can get through that, and I think somebody like Galle, who has got a good chin and can take good shots and still has better movement than what Carreno has, it's not a crazily good movement, but I think it's better. I think her relentless pressure, her changing of levels, she's just going to gain the scorecards, and even if she does get hit, I think she's going to be able to keep coming forwards and then just be the aggressive fighter with the better of the outcomes out of the two, and that's how she's going to win, and via unanimous decision. And then who could she go on to fight next? I think, being the IBO champion, I don't think it automatically will just throw you into a huge fight, but I think, to be fair, the bantamweight division is looking good at the moment. There's some solid opponents there, some solid options, and I think Johnson could be a fight. She's coming off a defeat, but that could be a good fight to still be quite a big fight. I don't really think there's many Canadian fighters that can make for a huge domestic fight, but somebody like Ali could be a good fight. She's coming off a big win now, and I'm sure branding a world title fight for her could make for a big fight. Or Fatih could be a big fight as well. She's only really fighting in Dubai at the moment, but that could make for a big fight as well, and possibly a fight in Dubai for Galle. But yeah, I think there'll be plenty of opportunities available for her. Like I said, the division is looking quite good at the moment. But yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you did enjoy. Like the video if you did need, like this, subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching.